The question that comes up with Carlson is, do you believe tonight ends up being the final time we see Carlson in a Penguin sweater?
Man, I think so. I think I know a trade conversation with Carlson takes a long time. We know a deal with him takes some time to really formulate. But I think Kyle Dubas just might be putting in that work to get it done, not in a quick fashion, but I think in a way that sends him out the door before the start of next season in one way or the other, whether it be at the draft, whether it be a little before free agency. I think there's a time and a place where it does happen this year. Nothing against Erik Karlsson. It just wasn't the right fit. I mean, he was a great guy to deal with in the room last year, and him playing 82 to bring it back to the Iron Penguin thing for the third straight year of his career, spanning to his last year in San Jose. That's something you can't normally say with Erik Karlsson either.
Yeah.
If it is worth anything, the Penguins got a full that he didn't miss a game in Pittsburgh. If it's worth anything to, that to that effect. Erik Karlsson has dealt with injuries his whole career, some pretty severe ones too. And the fact that he was able to come in Pittsburgh and play all 82 both times, that's impressive. One time I remember he walked into the locker room and he had a little bit of a limp. I may have even told the story before, but he had a little bit of a limp. And everyone was kind of in a panic because it was still early in his first season. Like, he still might be good. We don't know yet. And everyone kind of froze. Like, are you okay? And then he walked past something and realized, oh, he's only wearing one skate.
Yeah.
So the severe limp was because he was very uneven walking. And he joked with us, don't worry, guys, one day I'll be injured.
I mean, he was coming into this season, but he didn't miss a game.
So good on him. Phenomenal person, but I just do think the end of the road for him in Pittsburgh has arrived, and it's just unfortunate it didn't work out. I hope he can go and find success to end his career somewhere.
Yeah, you can say something about Erik Karlsson that you cannot say about most stars that play with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was healthy the whole time, right? You don't have the caveat of, well, could you imagine if he was healthy? Could you imagine if he didn't miss X amount of games? I mean, you have that with Crosby, you have that with Malkin, you obviously had that with Mario Lemieux. You don't have that with Erik Karlsson. You got exactly what you were going to get because he played in every single game. Now, with that, did he fail to meet expectations with this organization? I think it's fair to say yes. 0.66 points per game in 164 games, which is significantly lower. It's not just his lowest of his 3 stops in his NHL career. It's significantly lower. He had over 0.85 points per game at each of Ottawa and San Jose. And in Pittsburgh, barely over half a point per game. I mean, and back-to-back missed postseasons as well. I think it's fair to say that the experiment did not work out in the way that the Penguins had hoped. And is it over? I wouldn't say it's guaranteed because it's not over until it's over, right? Until we see the trade call with Erik Karlsson, there's still a chance that they hold on to him simply because there's a chance that they don't get the deal that they want, or they don't get a deal that they're at least okay with swallowing to get rid of Erik Karlsson. But I do think that his game against the Capitals is probably his last in Pittsburgh. Like you mentioned, talk started at the deadline. The rising cap makes it a little bit more palatable to retain his salary this offseason. If you're Kyle Dubas, I don't think it's going to be as high as, some people have floated out there. I mean, you can retain $5 million and it'd be real easy to get rid of him then. Yeah, but you also don't want to pay $5 million in dead cap to one player for the next couple of seasons. I think $2.5 to $3 million sounds about right when it comes to if they retain any of Erik Karlsson's salary. And I do think there are teams that will say our defensive structure is in place. If we add a guy that's going to give us 55 to 60 maybe points next season on the blue line, then I think there's going to be teams that take a swing. Now, are you going to get a great return? Probably not fantastic. A first round pick is only if you retain a lot of salary. I think you're more likely to get a second or a third in this conversation. But I do think that his matchup and what he did against the Caps is going to be the end of what we see with Erik Karlsson in Pittsburgh. Also because, I mean, the Penguins, they want to compete for a playoff spot. And I don't see a way in which they do that with both Carlson and Letang on the same roster again in 2026. And I don't think it's Letang that's going to end up on his way out.
Yeah, it's not going to be Letang. Speaking of going through heinous injuries, we didn't even discuss the heart surgery he had, which, I mean, the fact that he was back at the rink.
He probably wanted to lift yesterday.
He's a madman. And like I said, I think when we discussed the trade situations of who's likely to go, who's definitely staying, I gave Letang that bump of he's been here forever and has at least a modicum of control when it comes to his trade situation. So I would see Carlson getting traded first, absolutely. And just for Letang, I don't think he's done, by the way. I already saw a bunch of tweets about could that have been the last time he played? Nope, no. He'll be back. Don't worry.
The timing of the surgery tells you that he is going. The reason they did it now is so he can be ready to play and have a full summer of rehab and relaxation as well, so he can go and play next season.
Yeah, he'll be back, no problem. Probably anchoring the first defensive unit again, to be honest, but conversations for a different time. We'll have that when the season comes around again.
Yeah, there will be plenty of offseason to discuss Kris Letang and to discuss Erik Karlsson, which I'm sure will continue to be one of the biggest topics of conversation surrounding the Pittsburgh Penguins.